we are going to discuss about the non-metals. So what are non-metals basically? So just I'm going to write definition over here. Those elements which have tendency to gain electron.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, beta.
Sir, will this all be tested tomorrow?
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So those elements which have tendency to gain electrons are called as non-metals. Okay. And non-metals are those elements which do not exhibit the properties of metal. They are also called as non-metals. We can define like this also. Here we have one more definition. Elements having here must be tendency, tendency to gain electrons to form negative ions are called as non-metals. And we know whenever like a non-metal will gain electron, they are going to form negative charge ion. That's why they are called as electronegative. Okay.
Excuse me, sir. What
Yes.
are negative ions called?
Negative ions are called as anions. And
Yes,
positive
sir.
ions are called as cations.
Cations.
Yes. Okay. So, and non-metals are electronegative in nature. Electronegative in nature means they have tendency to gain electron, and whenever they will gain electron, they will form negative ions. That's what they are called as electronegative element, and their nature is the electronegative nature. Okay.
Yes,
Now we are going to discuss about the few properties of the non-metals now. See, first property here we have non-metals are the element which form negative ions by accepting or gaining electron. Means whenever they will gain electron, they will form negative charge particles, and negative charge particles are nothing but ions, and we used to call it anions. Now, second property we have non-metals usually have 4, 5, 6 or 7 electrons in their outermost shell. Okay. So in their outermost shell, they may contain 4 electrons, 5, 6, 7 and sometimes 8 also. Like in case of neon, argon, krypton, okay, we have 8 electrons also in their outermost shell. Third point.
Sir, if they have 4 electrons in their outermost shell, then they should accept the 6 electrons, no, sir?
No. See, according to the octet rule, 8 electrons have to be in their outermost shell in order to acquire stability. So they had to make 8 electrons in their outermost shell by loss or gain or share of electron. Okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome. So non-metals are those which lack all the metallic attributes, means they do not present any metallic property in them. That's why they are non-metals. Fourth point, they are good insulator of heat and electricity, means they are not going to allow the passage of heat as well as electricity, means they are bad conductor. They are bad conductor. For heat as well as electricity, because they do not contain free electron or loosely bonded electron in them like metal do. That's why they are bad conductor of heat and electricity. That's why they are called as insulator. Okay. Now next point, Fifth point, they are mostly gases. See, most of the gas non-metals are gases and sometimes liquid also. But sometimes like we have in solid form also, like carbon, which is present in coal, and coal is solid form. So some are they even solid at a room temperature, like we have carbon, we have sulfur and phosphorus. Okay, so these are solid. Okay, being non-metal. See, phosphorus is again solid, but it is non-metal. Sulfur is again solid, but it is non-metal. Carbon present in again solid, but it is the non-metal. Okay, beta?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So just take a screenshot from here. Done?
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay, so physical properties of non-metal. See, generally non-metals, they are solid, sometimes liquid, and most of them are gases at a room temperature. Like then, second point we have, they are brittle. If suppose they are solid, so they are brittle. If you will apply the pressure, they will break down into the small pieces. That property of matter is called as brittle. Okay, but non-metals are non-malleable, means we cannot convert them into the thin sheet. Next, they are non-ductile, they are non-sonorous, and bad conductor of heat and electricity. Okay, these are nothing but the physical properties of non-metals. See, there are certain exception in properties of metal and non-metal. So we will go through that exceptions also. Okay. So first exception we have for alkali metals like sodium, potassium, and lithium. They are very soft. They can be cut with the knife. Like you are cutting vegetable with knife, you can cut these metal also. So this is exception for metal. Next, for metal we have like mercury, it is the metal, but it present at a liquid state at a room temperature. Otherwise, all other metals they present in solid state. Next,
Sir, you are telling the physical properties of metals, sir.
yes, metal as well as non-metal. They are exception, beta, exception.
Okay.
Okay. See, all metals present in solid state, but only we have mercury here, which is present in liquid state. So it is exception, na? All metals are very hard, but sodium, potassium, and lithium are very soft that you can cut with knife. So it is again exception. Is it or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All metals
Yes.
are, yes, all metals are good conductor of heat and electricity, but we have lead and mercury, they are poor conductor of heat. This is again exception. Then we have mercury expands significantly for the slightly change in temperature, because if temperature will change, that mercury will going to expand because it becomes very thin. Okay, thin means
Sir,
the thin
can
layer.
sir, can mercury react with any other element?
Yes, see, it can react with other element, but if we will react with metal, so it is not going to react, but it will mix with them to form alloy.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, see, we have the gallium and cesium have a very low melting point. Suppose if you will have gallium in your hand, so it is going to start melting at your hand only, because it have melting point about 29 degrees Celsius. That's all. And our body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius, which is quite higher than the melting point of gallium. That's why if you will hold gallium and cesium at your hand, it is going to start melt. Okay, so this is again exception. Next, iodine is the non-metal but have luster. See, iodine is the non-metal but have luster, so it is exception. Next, graphite conduct electricity. Again here it is, see, all the non-metals are bad conductor of electricity, but here we have graphite which is good conductor of electricity. Last point here we have diamond conduct heat as a very high melting point in being non-metal. See, all the non-metals, they have very low melting point, but only diamond have higher melting point of about 3550 degrees Celsius of temperature, at which, like at this temperature, diamond will going to start melt. Okay, for example, here we have carbon, boron, etc. All these are non-metals. Okay, so I want you to take a screenshot for that also. Done?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now we will discuss about the uses of non-metals. See, first use we have for the preparation of ammonia, we are using nitrogen and hydrogen. For nitric acid and other fertilizers, we are using nitrogen. We are using nitrogen, and we know nitrogen is the non-metal. Next, for the purification of water, chlorine is used. Okay, chlorinated water, generally in order to purify the water, chlorine is used as an industrial scale. Third use, hydrogen is a very useful as a rocket fuel. You know, the rocket fuel which contain hydrogen and which is used as a fuel. Fourth, carbon can use to make a pencil, like graphite we are using for the preparation of pencil when it is in the graphite form. Okay, then sulfuric acid is prepared using the sulfur. Yes. Okay, so all this is sulfur is used for the preparation of sulfuric acid, like this. So
Sir,
this,
why isn't plastic mentioned?
see, plastic is the beta compound. Plastic contain hydrocarbons. So it is not the element form, it is the compound form. Okay,
Okay, sir.
yeah. So again, I want you to take a screenshot for that.
Sir, so we get chlorine and hydrogen directly, right?
Where?
I mean, like,
In our surrounding?
yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, till here any doubt, beta? Yes. Till here any doubt?